So, you know how with the Twitter files and such, Elon Musk acted as though he was some kind of spotlight shining truth and justice on, fraud and corruption and so on? Obviously, he was lying. Elon Musk complied with the request from the Turkish government to censor criticism of Erdogan. He just full on agreed and complied. Like, everything that he screamed and cried about Twitter doing in America during the 2020 election, he just did way worse than that, like that, without a second thought. Like, just like, yeah, he's done it with India too. Yeah, with like no stopping. Now, the funny thing is, look, social media companies have always collaborated with dictators because they're concerned with money first and foremost. They don't want to lose their market. Now, the funny thing is, okay, and this is the critical thing. Now, a lot of people won't tell you this, but I will. Elon is like less than average IQ, you know? Like, his brain doesn't work the way a normal person's does. So, in line with that, phenomenal stuff here. Okay, Matthew, pardon me for using the Daily Mail. It's the first thing I found that had the links to the tweets. Matthew Iglesias, himself a giant stupid piece of shit, but in this case he's correct, says, the Turkish government asked Twitter to censor its opponents right before an election, and Elon Musk complied. Should generate some interesting Twitter files reporting. And Elon said, did your brain fall out of your head, Iglesias? The choice is have Twitter throttled in its entirety or limit access to some tweets. Which one do you want? Which is incredible on so many levels, because for one, he seems to think of it as like, well, you can lose some tweets or all tweets in Turkey. Which one's worse? As if he doesn't understand how censorship as a concept works. For two, I like how matter-of-factly he's like, the censorship that I did, I had a reason for it. The government asked me to. As though he thinks like other instances of social media corruption have been done for government's benefits on like a whim or for fun. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand. He thinks this gets him out of it. He thinks he's like, well, they're going to slander me? Well, they don't even realize there's an extenuating circumstance. I was asked to. What, you want me to not censor people? You want me to stand up for my principles and not immediately kowtow to every request from a government? But he doesn't know. And also, this moron publicly broadcasted the threats that future governments will have to make to get him to censor tweets of their critics. He said what the terms of the bargain were. He openly announced it. Turkey wouldn't do that. Erdogan wouldn't do that. He wouldn't have come out and gone, oh yeah, well, we got this censorship being done by, we threatened to not allow him to broadcast. So now we know his price. Just threaten to cut off access to Twitter and he'll just do anything. He thinks this is a dunk. By the way, Turkey challenged Twitter in 2014 and won. Yes! Old Twitter actually was more principled than on this. March 2014. It's now been 6 days since the Turkish government blocked access to Twitter. Throughout this time, we've been engaged in discussion with Turkish authorities to hear their concerns, inform them how this all works, bring the situation to a resolution. But still, millions of people in Turkey who turn to Twitter, make their voices heard, are being kept from doing just that. So we filed petitions for lawsuits. The previous Twitter, which was just run by neoliberals, just money-brain dipshits, had enough principle to challenge legally Turkey's blocking of Twitter, and Elon was publicly saying, bro, I had no choice, man. They threatened me a little bit, bro. They gave me a little, they waggled their finger at me, bro. It's insane. Elon is so spineless and so desperate. He's so stupid. By the way, the guy we're talking to in 30 minutes is an Elon Musk fan who contests my opinions on him. So I'm very happy that the thing was scheduled for today. I didn't plan that. I'll ask him how he feels about this. They did not kowtow, and they challenged it legally. Elon's like, bro, what did you expect me to do? We could post what the government in Turkey sent us will do. Musk later said he would show what the government in Turkey sent us, but has yet to do so several hours later. You know why? Because Turkey probably said, no, if you do that, we'll block you anyway. Incredible. Has he done it yet? Let's see, retweeting SpaceX. Happy Mother's Day. Oh, wow. He's posting unusually little today. That's interesting. Is he doing a bunch of replies? Probably a bunch of replies. 9 hours ago, we have the classic Elon arrow and target. Oh, wow, no, he's like just barely been posting since this happened. Oh, okay. He commented on an AI art painting of Catwoman with incredible outfit. This is some grime shit. How does he keep getting divorced when he's not even married? How is his... Normally, the amount of divorced that you can be is a fixed amount after the divorce. The amount of divorced he is just keeps going up with time. Yeah, he just hasn't been tweeting. I really wanted to take the opportunity to illustrate how Elon Musk is not only, like, incomprehensibly stupid. This is like the greatest hit on capitalism right here. Seriously, I do genuinely mean it. You can't believe we exist in even a facsimile of a meritocracy as long as Elon Musk is as powerful and wealthy as he is. You genuinely can't. Normally, I don't like arguments like this because probabilistically there are going to be very talented people here and very stupid people here, and that's just going to happen no matter what system. It doesn't matter. That's just a fact of life. But Elon is extraordinarily stupid. And he's also very wealthy. Fantastic stuff. I mean, it's bad. And by the way, it's not just with me. It's bad enough. Daily Mail. This is an anti-Elon Musk article. They're not laundering it for him. They're doing the Daily Mail thing that Tim Pool loves so much. They're posting the incredibly helpful journalistic edition of people's tweets where they're mad at the person. He's exactly as wealthy as he is dumb. Yeah. Maybe other billionaires are just as stupid, but they're all more quiet. No. I think generally speaking, I think that in order to be very wealthy, you generally have to have a good head on your shoulders. You don't have to be a good person. Ethics has nothing to do with it. But you have to be at least proficient in the management of your businesses. But every single time I hear about Elon Musk doing anything for his business, he f***s it up. We heard those reports about him like at SpaceX where people were trying to like keep him from having any input in the project, where people were hired to keep him like away from decision making so that the engineers could do their job without him running in and like hey, can you like give it a bubble at the top, you know? We know that with Tesla, like he constantly lies about what it can do, overpromises, doesn't deliver, has no self-control or temperance when it comes to any aspect of the advertisement work that he does for these companies. He doesn't do anything engineering related. He's not an engineer. He just got lucky with investment. That's literally it. And by the way, guys, when you're wealthy, you don't do investments. You pay people to invest your money for you. Billionaires generally don't make all of their nitty-gritty financial decisions. That would take their entire day. They hire people to do it. So once you're wealthy enough, your wealth is just a train that moves forward. And a lot of his wealth is just the massive overevaluation of Tesla as a company, which has delivered very little relative to its market share compared to, like, you know, every other car company, which, again, he does no engineering work for. He's only the hype man for it. And he's a bad hype man because he keeps being wrong about the stuff that it can do and doing embarrassing public shit, like calling, like, national heroes pedophiles because he's salty that his submarinobile didn't end up saving a bunch of trapped kids in a cave. So he's bad at everything. He's completely without merit. Normally my argument would be you don't have to be ethical or useful in any way to the world to be powerful or wealthy under capitalism. But in his case, like, apparently the bar is just flat nothing, like, across the board. Take Donald Trump. Is Donald Trump an idiot? In a lot of ways, yes. But are there things Donald Trump is and can do that I think would make him a good businessman in terms of, like, charisma, drive, sociopathic ability, that kind of stuff? Sure, yeah. I look at him, I can think, yeah, it makes sense to me that he would have gotten a lot of money on the backs of other people, you know? I understand that. I don't think it's good, but I understand. But Elon Musk is like a whole wrench in the thing, you know? Just a complete, just nothing. What's on your mind today?
Well, I saw your earlier segment on Elon Musk, and
you caught me. You got me, my sneaky little The little turkey censorship thing. All right, well, we can't use that as a gotcha. I should have kept my power level closer to the chest.
Well, I hope from what I got from that segment, I'm walking into a the clown show, but I hope we can have a serious discussion. Is that something we can do?
Of course we can. Yeah.
Okay, so you called me an Elon Musk fan. I know that even though right now I'm discussing Elon Musk, that I'm going to be labeled a fan. That's okay. I guess I have to accept it. But I don't defend everything Elon Musk does. So if if can you please ask me for something? Please ask me if I defend Elon Musk before you claim something or claim something Elon Musk does is stupid, and I'll probably not defend it. But I think there are some things you say about Elon Musk that aren't true. So
All
that's
right.
where we're
Well,
at.
I'll qualify my statements further in the future. But what have I said that you think isn't true outside of the hyperbolic stuff? I've called him a demon several
Oh yeah,
times. I can't
those are
actually
all
prove
yeah,
that.
those are all just memes. But I think your main critique of Elon Musk is that he is merely correct me if I'm wrong, okay? That he is merely a millionaire, and all his contributions to the company he has is purely monetarily
Well,
monetary.
my main
So,
criticism is that I think he's the devil. I think he's evil and stupid and bad in every way possible. So, it's very difficult to kind of pin down my specific opinions here because I think he's almost holistically like without value as a human, except of course with regards to his actual value, which is actually quite high. Um, yeah, but that's part of it. I don't think he's done very much for the success of his company. He just seems to make good investments and kind of roll on that.
okay, so can I bring up an example, the most apples to apples comparison that I think illustrates that? I don't know how smart Elon Musk is. I don't know if he's dumb, right? But I do think he does contribute something to his companies. Can I give you an example of that?
Sure.
Okay, so um, when we decommissioned the space shuttle, we lost the capability to send astronauts to the International Space Station. We relied for quite some time on Russia. Um, NASA wanted to fix this, so they accepted offers from various companies to see if they could perform this service for them. Four companies entered, submitted proposals, and NASA picked two, Boeing and SpaceX. The proposals they offered were Dragon and Starliner. Boeing Starliner, SpaceX Dragon. Um, Currently, Elon Musk or SpaceX's Dragon has been certified by NASA, and I believe has done 4 missions. Um, Starliner by Boeing is is not yet certified. They're having a crewed test launch this July, and so I just think that if Boeing is a really large company, right, Vosh?
Oh yeah, it's huge. It's
It
colossal.
is the it is the sole monopoly commercial jet maker in America. The only one that competes with Boeing is Airbus, which is a European company. So there's no way Elon Musk could have outspent Boeing. Would you agree on that, or is that something that?
No, well, no. The market cap for SpaceX is pathetic compared to that of Boeing's.
So, in how do you explain SpaceX beating Boeing?
It's engineers.
Yeah, but I would think engineers would go to where they get paid the most, right? And Boeing obviously has a lot of money, and I'm sure they pay their engineers a standard rate.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that there are a ton of things that can affect the quality of the work that engineers do. Whether they have like really aggressive scouting to like try to get people right out of the best universities, whether the work culture seems to prioritize that kind of thing. It probably helps that SpaceX is considered more of like an eccentric science first company, whereas Boeing is predominantly an aerospace and military corporation, meaning that a lot of its engineers are probably more used to military standards for R&D than they are like space race type stuff. There's a lot of stuff that can
Yeah,
like affect that, but I don't think it would have
I would
anything to do
agree
with
with you.
Elon.
Well, so I don't see how SpaceX, you said, is more like a science first place, and I don't see where that doesn't get. Elon Musk has presented that image about SpaceX, right? I mean, that's you say he's a hype man. I agree, he is a hype man, and that's the message he puts forward. So I think that there are many different things, and I think that's one of them. I would contribute that to Elon Musk, the way he talks about it and the way he presents SpaceX,
But
right?
that's conjecture, right? Like at that point, we're saying we don't know why SpaceX is doing so well relative
Well,
to Boeing.
wait. I I think we do, because like you just said, one of the reasons why engineers might perform better in SpaceX is because of the culture. I think you hear Elon Musk, then SpaceX. So everything Elon Musk says about SpaceX, you're going to map onto SpaceX, right? Where else does SpaceX come up before Elon Musk?
Well, wait. So I think you're confusing a few things when it comes to like my ascriptions here. I think
Okay.
that Elon exists as a brand. I think that I think that he grifted a lot of people into thinking that he was some kind of forward-thinking science guy. I have no
Mhm.
idea what led to SpaceX having the engineers that it does.
Well,
There's a possibility.
you just said one of the possibilities might
Yeah,
be that it's science focused, and Elon Musk, I feel, has presented SpaceX as that way,
yeah, but
right? The way he talks about it all the
the
time.
problem with that is what you're talking about is like cuckoldry. So what you're saying is like the reason
Okay.
SpaceX is doing so well is because of hundreds of thousands of hours of work from some of the smartest people on the planet at the corporation.
Yeah.
Elon
So,
did wait. Elon did zero of that. If
yeah.
what we're speculating is there's a possibility that Elon's reputation as like a more forward-thinking or technocratic person might have contributed to their good scouting or engineer acquisition. That's a guess. I don't know if that's true. Even if it was true, like assuming it's true, if I'm willing to bite that bullet, I would still say that's nothing. Because all he is
Well,
then he's like the rich science man. That's not work on his part. That's no ingenuity.
well, Vosh, like I'm not saying. I think everybody's contributions are deserve some credit, right? Like the janitor at SpaceX has a part to play in SpaceX's success. If you had the best janitor, I would. There might not be a measurable, but there's some impact, and I think Elon Musk has had an impact on SpaceX's success
Through
um,
what?
through what we just were just through the culture he created at
We don't
SpaceX.
know the culture. All I'm willing to concede is that I know that he's thought of as a sciency kind
So
of guy.
you okay? So we don't know the culture. So you're not saying that we do. So what are so I asked you for reasons why SpaceX might be better
But
than
I don't
Boeing,
know. Wait, if you
and
wanted like a correct answer, I don't have it. I don't know. I don't think
well,
either of us do.
okay. Oh, so what is so you have no correct answer why SpaceX beat Boeing?
I if anyone did, I think that would be like really valuable market information. I don't know. Do you?
Well, I think SpaceX has. I think sorry. I think Elon Musk has some impact on that. Yeah. When I look at
By what?
when there are internal things maybe, but when I look from the external, when you have big companies, big money spending around, and the only difference is Elon Musk's hype and culture he created at SpaceX.
Well,
I think
we don't
that
know he
made the
created the
difference.
culture.
What do you mean he created the company?
That's
He's the CEO, right?
Do people who
He
work at
talks
SpaceX see him day to day? They don't.
not every day,
They see
but
their team.
but Elon Musk is pretty popular, right? Like if you were to go to SpaceX, it's like, oh, who's this Elon Musk guy? Obviously, I would think that a percentage, or at least a large percentage of SpaceX, know Elon Musk
But
and
what
know
you're
what
saying is
he's trying to
like
do.
everyone should be accredited for the value they've brought. For
Yeah.
instance, Elon Musk's value is that some people might have thought that he's cool and that's why they joined SpaceX. I don't know if that's
Oh,
enough to really go on. Like at
so
that point
during
it's not
space,
actually work. It's just the work that's being done there is their perceptions of him. It's not even any like active advertising they're doing. It's just
yeah.
like Elon
So
is cool, therefore we might join, and we don't even know. We're speculating that.
so do you think JFK's speech, right, when he made the speech during the space race, that was a really motivating speech? But JFK did nothing to get us to the moon. He didn't do the math. He didn't, he probably never talked to a lot of the engineers. But that speech might have drove us to the might have got us to the moon, right? That had some impact on us landing on the moon.
Yeah, he had a factor over the political environment that allowed the work to be done to land on the moon, but he didn't contribute at
And
all to
Elon
the
Musk
actual.
does not have a factor in his own company to get the work SpaceX does to be done.
So,
That's Elon
well,
Musk has no
wait, I feel, wait, I feel like you're grabbing onto like very little bits of information and extrapolating a lot from them.
well,
I've
okay,
already said
so
I'm willing to acknowledge that his reputation contributes to hiring decisions and corporate culture,
no,
but
you
I don't
didn't.
consider that work that
Wait, you
he's
did.
done.
Wait, can I? I don't think you said that, Vosh. I think when you said, I think multiple times you said that Elon Musk might have a I don't know how Elon Musk has a connection to the culture, and now you're saying now you're agreeing with me right
No, I'm
now.
saying we don't know, but I think it's
Okay, my bad.
likely that his reputation has helped to construct the hiring apparatuses and the corporate culture.
Oh, okay, then we agree. I didn't. Sorry, maybe I misunderstood
But
you. I'm sorry.
even with that accepted, I don't think that's work. I don't think that's shit. I like you could say that of literally any. You could say that of Trump because Trump promotes a reputation of like business savviness, and I bet a lot of people
Hmm.
who have worked for Trump's various like corporate grifts have joined
Hmm.
up for that reason. But I wouldn't say
But
like, oh, well,
mhm.
who was responsible for the Trump steaks you could get at Bed Bath and Beyond? You know, ah, Trump himself. You know,
Yeah, but is Trump like a he's not that successful, right? Like, what are his greatest achievements,
I mean,
right?
he's a
Like,
real estate billionaire. I mean, by any
yeah,
metric of success.
like, but he was born into that, right?
Well, Elon was born into quite a bit of wealth himself.
Yeah, no, he. So that's the second thing. We can move on to that. If you want to drop this, that's the second thing I wanted to go over. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah, Elon Musk was born into wealth. There's a lot of, I tried looking into this. Maybe I just can't see the truth of it. There's a lot of contradictory stories with, like, I suppose, if you believe Elon Musk, which I don't think you do, his story is that he was estranged from his father. His mom took him to live in Canada. They didn't have much money, blah 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 blah. The whole sob story. I don't know if you know, but that's one thing Elon Musk says. I don't know if that's true. That might not be true. But Elon Musk wasn't born probably as wealthy as Trump was, right? Like he was wealthy for South Africa. Emerald mine meme, sure, that's a real thing, I guess, but not like true wealth like Trump had. Right?
I don't. I mean, I don't know the exact respective wealth they had. They both grew up in what I would consider to be extremely privileged situations. I genuinely don't know. Trump has said, you know, small mine of $1 million. Elon Musk's dad has said that the
I
Emerald Mine
think
funded him and his move to America and gave him like
so.
startup cash.
That's one of the other claims that makes it confusing. I guess that could be true.
Well,
But like
I
if
mean,
I
we know
were
he grew up wealthy. That's not
no,
like
that's not disputed, right? But Trump got money from his father, and I've heard some reports, I could be wrong on this, that Trump also somehow swindled his father's most of his father's wealth later on in his life, and that's real estate, right? So that stuff grows. Trump's success is largely a part of his dad's success, and I'm not saying that Elon Musk didn't grow up wealthy, but I don't know if Elon Musk's wealth is directly correlated with a majority of his wealth today, right?
I
That's
don't
all.
I genuinely have no idea. I mean, it doesn't
Okay.
matter. They're both rich. I hate them both. So it's
Okay. That's if you don't like rich people, that's okay.
generally
All
not.
right, maybe. All right, that's fine.
It is
Um,
pretty weird how like Elon tries to lie about the mind thing to pretend that he wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth, though.
well, yeah, that is kind of. I'm not defending that. He does some weird stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely does.
Um. Well, not weird stuff. I guess you want me to condemn that harder than just weird,
No,
but
I
okay.
don't care. You'll defend the statements you defend. I'm not asking you to like
All
set
right.
yourself up
Thank you, Vosh.
as a post.
Thank you, Vosh. All right. Then the third thing, since we're moving off of that, is your coverage. I guess this is a little bit more nebulous. Your coverage of Tesla is odd to me. You have there's that one video about the Tesla taking off and hitting a building, and then you go on about for like another 10 minutes about how um, uh, having electronic brakes on a car is crazy. That's just weird to me. Um,
Well, purely
like
electronic ones with no mechanical component, when they've been known to fail, is pretty wild.
so, correct me if I'm wrong. Were you one of the people who were saying, "I can't believe Northrop's"? Sorry, I'm probably mispronouncing the name. The train company in Ohio, in Palestine, Ohio. Were you one of those people who were saying, "I can't believe they didn't have electronic brakes on there. This would have prevented the cat." I can't. Were you one of those people, or am I wrong?
Um, I think I've definitely said I think that like this is symptomatic of necessary reform in our rail industry. But I think I mostly tied it to the fact that Norfolk Southern was one of the companies that was pressing against like getting sick days for their employees. I know that what happened wasn't actually the problem with the brakes. The problem was with the detection systems that they had for overheating um, joint parts and wheels,
Yeah,
and
that
those failed
yeah.
because there was a previous thing. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think I mentioned that specifically. I might have at some
Okay.
point because we didn't
Were you
initially know
okay?
what the cause was, but I think for the most part it was about like worker rights.
Okay, no, that's fair. I'm pretty sure that was in somewhere, but that was at least. Did you? I did. Did you ever push back against? Because there were a lot of people saying, "I can't believe this company didn't spend the money for e-brakes." I
Well,
guess you don't. You're not. You don't have to. But is that something you'd push? Like are e-brakes for trains? Even though they like the Obama administration, even though they say these things are safe, are they not safe?
well,
Should like yeah.
well, up until a few weeks ago, I didn't even know the exact reason why the crash had happened. So I didn't comment
Yeah.
much on the specifics of it prior to that point because I didn't even have much like ammunition for the point. I do know though that like the fact that we don't have it's not electronic braking, it's like the auto brake systems. There was like a law passed a billion years
So
ago where trains, if they wanted to go over 70 miles per hour or something, had to have this auto brake system, and they could not go faster than that unless they had that provision. And all the rail companies were like, okay, we'll just never move faster than that. No, there will be no high speed rail in America ever. We will just never upgrade the tracks. And it's been like a century and they still haven't done it. And I think I bitched about that because that's pretty stupid. It's
all right.
pretty dumb of
Yeah.
them. But yeah. But wait, what
So
does this have to do
yeah.
with Tesla?
Well, I just think like you were you have like a kind of like I think a bias against Tesla for reasons like you don't have like actual legitimate uh things like you just like talk about Tesla and you'll find like a nitpick
I
that
do
doesn't
hate
really
them.
make
That's
sense.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll just find a nitpick that doesn't really make sense and you'll go on about it for 10 minutes.
Well, so the main problem is that Tesla is objectively overvalued in the stock market.
Oh yeah,
Musk's well,
100%.
like they provide less cars than like every other car company, and they're worth like
Mm,
exponentially more purely because of hype. And the hype is
yeah,
bullshit, and that's what bothers me. Elon has
100. Yeah.
consistently lied about and misrepresented what auto drive can do, what Teslas can do. Remember when he said like Cybertruck would be able to float and operate as a boat? Like he'll just say any shit
You know,
about Teslas.
yeah, can I gotta kind of like semi truck is a complete scam. Like that's like but that's not the things you like talk about
No,
mostly.
well, and the
Yeah.
Tesla broadly, I hate this overselling of auto driving, because they constantly
Oh
oversell
yeah.
and it doesn't work. The fact
Can
that
we
the Tesla
um
auto drive will autonomously give you back manual control if it detects a crash is about to happen. So in a court case, if you want to say, "Oh, the auto drive like fucking drove me into a wall at 100 miles per hour," they can be like, "Well, no, actually, see, in this last half second before you fucking died." They gave control back to you. So, actually, you're at fault. Like, Tesla is so overhyped and so
yeah.
overpriced for lower quality for its price than any other car company you could go to. And I hate it for that. It's like fake
Well, probably
futurism.
yeah. Yeah, probably 100%. I agree it's over I agree it's like overpriced like yeah, that's just how the stock market works, it's just weird weird money system, right? But can I push back on one of the things you said?
Yeah.
Um so I see this a lot, that I can't believe Elon Musk is overhyping the auto drive. I don't believe they call it auto drive; they call it autopilot, and I feel like Elon Musk statements are probably, they do overhype it. But if you sit down and you're actually a responsible adult, and you like, right, you have to prove some
Why should the average
competency.
consumer have to like divine
Wait,
the
so
technical
okay,
specificities of a tech company's
so
future
when okay,
products?
can I wait? So I think, I'm not sure, but I think when you what like the information you're given from with the Tesla is probably responsible. If When you get a prescription and it says you're not allowed to operate heavy machinery for this, can we go, well, we can't expect people to read the label and not operate heavy machinery? Like,
Okay, but
that's what I feel like,
the
right?
difference
Like,
is the
you're
warning labels that you're talking about are literally right there, whereas what you're saying is you're asking
you
average consumers to listen to someone who's supposed to be a tech genius billionaire and just know
isn't it in
somehow
the man
that
wait
he's
is it
lying.
I'm pretty sure it's in the manual, right? I'm pretty sure the things for
Nobody reads.
self-driving.
Nobody. No, wait, hold on.
And
First,
who reads the labels of prescriptions?
no, wait,
Who
wait,
reads
wait.
all the side effects?
Nobody reads the manuals for their cars. Not a single human ever
I
has.
I do when there's
You
something
don't.
wrong
No,
with
you
my
don't.
car.
You don't.
Yes, I do.
I didn't
When
know.
I'm trying
Nobody
to find
has.
something specific, yes, I do. When I'm trying to find something specific about my car, I
We're,
look at the manual to see if
we're
there's any
not talking about
information.
legal liability right here. We're just talking about him lying for no reason. You're basically saying like it's okay for the CEO and hype man of this corporation to lie about his products because hey, you're supposed to read this 2,000-page booklet that comes with it anyway. Other company CEOs don't do this. The guy who runs Ford, you don't like wake up one morning to hear the Ford guy saying that like the next car he puts out will fly and also the autopilot is way better than you think it is and blah. This just doesn't happen. This is an Elon specific thing. There's no other like this is a him thing. He's facing lawsuits over it. There are multiple lawsuits out against him right now for like class action or otherwise, which is why he hates class action lawsuits and says the Democrats are controlled by class action lawyers. Because like people, I think it's sensible to assume that people's understanding of a product will be informed by the explicit marketing of that product from the CEO of the company that produces it. Like if you had a corporate CEO who makes toys say, and this toy is safe to swallow, your child could eat it with no harm done, and then like when children start dying and it's like, oh well, if you read the box it says not safe for swallowing, like that won't fly. They'll still
Yeah,
get sued.
um, I think you're right on that one. I do agree with you on it's probably, I don't know exactly his statements. Maybe they are bad on that, but yeah, it's pretty. I guess that is true, right? Yeah.
I so we're now both declaring a jihad against Elon Musk together, correct? We stand shoulder to shoulder on this
No,
issue.
well, just on that point, like, yeah, I guess overhyping. Well, and that is pretty bad, I guess, if it does lead to deaths.
Well, it's also
I will
just like
because yeah,
lying, like it leads to the stock market overinflation, you know? The reason this really bothers me is because like I actually get really excited for new tech. I don't talk about it that much on stream, but like Elon Musk is literally the antichrist of technological futurism because the stuff that he directly promotes and hypes up is aesthetically futuristic, but is actually like either dishonest or regressive. Like him talking about like brain chips and everyone getting hyped up for how cool that would, and then he
yeah,
has the
that's
team just
dumb.
like torture a bunch of monkeys to death. Because like of
Yeah,
course that
that's
wasn't
dumb.
going to happen, you know?
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, Elon Musk does a lot of dumb stuff or irresponsible stuff. Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah, it's that's the thing. It's just it pulls attention away from real futurism. It reminds me. Okay, wait. Let me just give you an example. Just so you're in my brain space. Okay, together our brains will wetly slap against each other and we'll understand.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So have you heard? I think this is from South Korea. Have you heard of like the South Korea like mech for the DMZ?
I heard it, like I watched it. Oh, I think I know
You
what
have
you're
you seen
talking about. Yeah.
the Captain Disillusion
Yeah.
video?
Captain. Oh yeah, I have. I think. Yeah.
Okay,
I know what you're
just so
talking
my
about.
audience knows what I'm talking about. Basically, like They wanted like a mech for some reason, I don't fucking know, but like a corporation was like, yeah, we'll build it, and got millions and millions of dollars, and it's like, yeah, look, it's a mech, but it doesn't work. It's literally like an animatronic costume. It can't stand up on its own, it can't do anything, it has no balance, it's completely ineffectual as a mech, but it looks cool, so it continued to get investor money. Meanwhile, the Boston Dynamics team, which is currently making robot dogs for a police station near you, has been like actually at the cutting edge of robotics for over a decade now. But like that doesn't always get as much hype or attention. People will funnel money into stuff that looks futuristic but is based on like 1990s movies aesthetics, and then like it'll pulls attention away from the good stuff. And Tesla's like the apex of this. I hate it so much.
Can I push back on that a little bit?
Sure.
Okay, so like the mech you're explaining, that's useless. It's a piece of junk. Tesla does have cars that drive. I guess there's some. I guess you like safely. I think they are pretty safe, right?
Other cars, you know.
Yeah. So there is a product where that mech is completely flashing lights, right? So, and I would kind of I agree with your sentiment. I sorry, I agree with your idea that yeah, like futurism is like this fake futurism is kind of bad, but I don't. There are things Elon Musk. I think Elon Musk companies are not are pretty good. I think they have accomplishments, and they're not just snake oil. There are some things that are snake oil.
Well,
Elon
I
Musk
think his
does.
engineers do a lot of good work. I think the problem with the Tesla stuff is a matter of expectation. So to be clear, SpaceX does real work. Even the Boring Company has done some really cool stuff legally and mechanically for tunnel boring, which is very important.
I think can we the Boring Company has literally done nothing innovative.
Wait, is it not
It's
the
just-
is it not the Boring Company? Is there another company that's managed the tunnel creation?
Yeah, the tunnel creation. He's done nothing in creative or innovative.
Really, am I
What
wrong
he's
there?
done, yeah, what he's done is quite ironically, what he's done is he says he's cheapened tunnel creation, but all he's done is he's made smaller tunnels. So you have big subway tunnels, right? That costs a lot of money. He's small in the tunnels, and he said, I 10% downgraded the thing. Oh, look at I'm making these really cheap.
So now I hate him even more than I did before.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
You're moving me in the wrong direction.
You can. I've never said. I have disagreements with some of the things you hate him on. You can hate him for a lot of things. He's done the whole submarine fiasco, So, but I just think some of the things you don't like him on.
He
aren't
pushed
so
against
bad.
all high-speed rail that could have been done in California by promising a hyperloop that will never be built. Yeah, it's pretty. Nah, he
yeah, I don't
explicitly
know.
said that in that book. The interviewer.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what effect that had though, but I guess he
People.
tried.
That's the thing. People trust him, or they trusted him. He has been like, he's been bleeding off a lot of public support because of his like overt conservatism lately.
So do you know this? This has kind of been my mantra going into this debate. Do you know the Stannis quote? Stannis the Manus from Game of Thrones. Sorry, let me just say it. The bad doesn't outwash the good, and the good doesn't outwash the bad.
But I don't know what the good is, because the most I can think of is that he's like thought of as a science dude, but all of the engineering stuff isn't done by him, so he can't do that. And marketing stuff, like in terms of investment, that's also probably not done by him. Very wealthy people usually hire other people to manage their assets. It would be insane to give one person access to tens of billions in investment money. No one human could manage the paperwork. So leaves like advertisement.
Yeah, I think we're going back to the beginning of the conversation, right? Like he does have money, but when you put it into a apples to apples street race scenario, SpaceX does outperform other companies.
I like SpaceX though, but I like the engineers who do the work, not like the grifting piece of shit who stands over them. Because like if I could believe that Elon had some kind of like leading direction or vision, let me give you an example, okay? Walt Disney. Now there's a guy I hate, all right? Walt Disney, as I understand it, can't draw. He was a businessman. He wasn't an animator, but I absolutely will give him credit for the animated works Disney produced early on, even if he wasn't drawing them or directly marketing them or anything, because he was he was an animator? Okay, ignoring the fact that he was an animator, because I thought that he wasn't. Assuming he wasn't,
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
because he had a vision and he clearly directed like the vision of the company. Like he was a leader in that respect. But I have no reason to believe that Elon does that for SpaceX, that he's like a guiding light where he
Oh,
keeps the team together and he like
why?
tries to, like build up everything. Because like, I'm so sorry, I know I'm rambling right now.
Oh, it's okay.
Managerial work is still work. There are people
Yeah.
at SpaceX who don't know engineering but still like manage the human element, and if they're doing a good job, I think that's valuable. But I don't even know if he does that. Like he just tweets all day. Like what does he do directly?
Well, so I mean he's there in the I would like to, I don't know if I have this, but I do think he does do a lot of stuff, right? He's there on the sites, but the problem is we only have Elon Musk's word, and I don't think that'll ever convince you of what Elon Musk does for his companies,
Well, he
right?
does lie
Like,
like all the
yeah,
time. So
I don't know if we can trust that, but I believe. Well, I've seen videos of him. He's on the plant. He's doing stuff. He's in the control rooms.
he
I
gets
think he has.
photoed. It's photo ops. Like
Mhm,
the best thing he could do for SpaceX would be human work, managerial work. But all
yeah.
we know about him is that he actually fucking hates workers because he violated COVID lockdown restrictions and forced people to continue working. He praised plants in China who had people working and like sleeping in the factory so they could work more the next day. The attitude he's given towards like workers, people beneath him, is contemptuous. He hates them. So I don't think he could do any managerial work. And if he can't do managerial or engineering work, the only thing he's doing there at SpaceX is like photo op work, Like he's there for publicity. He's as much a contributor to SpaceX as like like a president would be showing up briefly at a barbecue to take some photos.
But like, yeah, but the president, I don't know, being like the CEO, like that has some effect. Anyways, can I just? I need this is. I need an easy win. All right, can I get an easy win?
Go for whatever you want to talk about. It's fine.
All right. So you've said, correct me if I'm wrong, that Elon Musk's Tesla, oh, would be great, but their chargers are what do you call them? They're proprietary. Did I say yeah, proprietary?
Yeah, they have a
And yeah,
specific type of charger. So when people set up like Tesla chargers, because that's the most popular kind of electronic car, or at least people think it
yeah.
is, then it doesn't work with other electronic cars. So it's not even promoting electronic cars.
So there are adapters that you can get to adapt Tesla chargers into
No,
yeah.
I know, but doesn't that still suck? He could have just
Well,
used the
but the
standard
way
line.
at least from well, a lot of American. I mean, we're Americans, so we're kind of fucked up. But like a lot, EU is on that bandwagon. I do agree that would be good, but all other EV companies in America have their own types of adapters too. So
Is that true? I was under the impression
yeah,
that
it's a
most
mess. There's no
that electronic vehicles usually just ran like straight line. Like there's like a standardized
not in America in the EU. Yeah.
like you could run a 250 it's 250 volts I think for or 240 for electric cars, and you could literally just run that out from like a house line even, but Tesla has like a
Well, but
specific
the
thing.
adapter, no, well, yeah, it's the connection, right? So the wire, right? The wire and all chargers are the same pretty much, but the adapters, the USB-C and the Lightning, right? Those are different. That's what's different on Tesla's
You
chargers
know I
and
hate
cars.
Apple for this too, right? Because they do this
Oh
like
no, 100%. Like I think Apple I think can I'm gonna separate these things. Apple, a $20 wire that you're going to throw away or lose. How often do we lose these things, right?
all the
Having
time.
that be yeah, all the time. Having that be man, I just having that be only being able to connect to the iPhone is bad, right? Because you're going to lose, you're going to have to
Yeah,
buy it.
and
If
EU
we just have one
regulation.
standard, yeah, I support that. I mean, I support there being a standard thing, but the Tesla in this regard isn't no worse. Well, and in many regards, Tesla isn't worse than any other a car manufacturer, right?
In that,
Like even
I
yeah.
I will give credit and say that in this specific respect, this like anti-competitive market shit is something that is broadly done and isn't a Tesla specific thing. I
Yeah, thank you.
most of my problems with Tesla aren't really like with the company itself, because if people want to buy their overpriced shitty electric cars, they can. It's more that it's part of this like burgeoning empire of fake tech that that I think pulls like a lot of this for me is really bitterness over the high-speed rail thing in California. Where do you live? State. I know you're American.
California, baby.
Okay, then you should know. Well, I don't know where in California you are. It's a big state, okay? But I grew up in LA. There is no place on earth that deserves high-speed rail more than California. They're begging for it. And the thing he did to just to and you know what? The worst part is I don't even think that Elon Musk lied about the Hyperloop to keep public funding off of the high speed rail, like deliberately as some kind of Machiavellian ploy. I think he just heard that they were going to do something and he wanted the spotlight. So he saw California considers funding high speed rail and he just wanted to say, oh, well, hey, I'll do something better. And he didn't think about it. I don't think this was like an investment decision for him. I just think he's
Yeah,
stupid and
no, I
narcissistic.
think so. Personally, this is my belief. I think when you like in your earlier segment, you were calling him stupid. I can't believe. I think a lot. I don't think he's stupid. That's my personal belief. But I think he has a big ego, and it's like it's only been ever since all the hype, ever since he launched his car into space, it's only been growing. And I think that ego probably makes him what's the word
Deserving of death?
no, but
Oh, that's what I thought you were going to say.
okay, but ignorant or something. Yeah. So, um, and I guess yeah, one thing I kind of don't like is I've seen you. Just last thing, I think we've gone through a lot of it.
I've enjoyed the
Thank you for.
conversation, but yeah, go ahead.
All right. Last thing is that this kind of goes to your Tesla. I don't like it that you show Tesla's what do you call them? Recalls. Yeah, sorry, my bad. I don't like
They
that.
just
So,
recalled like all of them in China, didn't they?
well, all of them. I looked into this, and from what I saw, the earliest number is 2019. Tesla doesn't recall more cars than the average auto manufacturer.
Is that true? China.
I looked into this, and it's at least in America. Well, I tried to look at um, uh, nor, uh, the North American Road Association, or there's some government agency that keeps track of all the recalls. And I looked at it, and from what I could see, they weren't bad actually until 2016. From what I find, actually, because we understand, we've all watched Fight Club, right? The meme is that auto manufacturers don't they're not forced to recall. They're simply
They do the math on whether or not they want
they
to
do
risk
the
the
math,
lawsuit
right?
costs. Yeah.
Yeah, and until 2016, Tesla didn't do any recalls, and then after 2016, they started doing that. So they did the calculations and stuff. So I don't think no auto manufacturer um, is perfect and is never going to have a recall, right? It seems like almost every car company does.
Yeah,
So
but like Tesla, keep in mind there are far fewer Teslas than there are like Toyotas or Fords or whatever. The
yeah,
Forbes
I try
article
to
I'm
yeah.
reading right now says that 4 million Teslas were recalled in between January 2022 and February 2023. Which like
That's a
how many
year
Teslas are in
though.
America? Um like
Probably like 10 million.
how many on the road in the US? None of these numbers are what I want to look at. 300,000 Tesla vehicles were sold in the US in 2021. Like, I don't know. I feel like they,
Yeah,
they
I
recall
feel
pretty often.
when I looked at it, and recalls can be very dangerous. Like the initial thing that started the recall, like you bump the fender and you die, or recalls can be like on my car, the upholstery came up, and
Oh,
I
it's
could
not
go
good.
into the dealer. Yeah, well, it wasn't it. The car ran fine. It was just the sun kind of melted the glue, and so I just got that recalled, and it was fine, right? So recalls can be serious, or recalls can be kind of benign. So I don't think focusing on Tesla's recalls is a particular. Yeah, did you? I'm seeing on your thing that you pulled up Ford 8 million units,
Yeah,
and so Tesla 3.
Tesla has the second highest number in terms of how many units were affected, with Ford at 8.6, which is really high, and then Tesla at 3.7. It's had fewer recalls in terms of like the number of them, but the units affected is higher than any company but Ford, which is pretty wild considering that, like, you know, it's Tesla. Like it's not as large of a dealer.
Um. Yeah, so it's small, so it's got a it's got some kinks to work out, right?
Well, yeah, but like proportionally, this is a lot.
Well, yeah, you just said it's not the top though. Like what's Ford doing? But you know,
Ford sucks. I'm not contesting that.
I don't think it's uniquely bad. It's probably, but the coverage, you've never shown Ford recalls, and I just think the coverage of showing Tesla recalls far outweighs how the actual impact of it. So that's just my opinion.
Hold on. Okay, largest
right, like you agree, I feel like what you're doing, it's not as serious. I feel like what you're doing is like local news is like 70% crime and like 10% local stuff. And
I'll dedicate an entire stream to somebody stubbing their toe on a Tesla for sure. You're not wrong in pointing out that I'm selective in my coverage here. But like, look, second highest number of units affected by recalls in 2022. But in terms of largest car companies in distribution, Tesla is 19th. So it's disproportionately like far higher than any other company, at least in the United States, when it comes to recalls. And I mean, a lot, but like, it's not just the recalls, right? Like, there are lawsuits on a variety of things. Build quality. People have criticized Tesla build quality for luxury cars.
I don't really have any evidence to support this, but that's just kind of like a nebulous thing. Like, I guess you could look into it, like, but everybody's going to pick out the lemon they got, right? So I don't know about that, but it's like we hear all this bad stuff about Tesla, and that's fine if you hate Elon Musk for the reasons you do, but it's just like, like, I don't think Tesla is uniquely bad, right?
So okay, this is what bothers me. So I just Googled Tesla safety rating, okay? And this is what I see from Google recommended top, okay? From not Tate Slap. What the fuck is this? No, not a Tesla app. So this is at the top of Google now. Even without autopilot engaged, capital A on autopilot, Teslas are 2.5 times safer than the average vehicle. Also, Tesla has received several safety accolades and 5-star crash reports.
Sorry.
The company.
Can you say that again? 2.5.
This is like a pro Tesla website that is laundering their reputation. Even if it was a safe car, it is not 2.5 times safer than the average vehicle. And mentioning autopilot is just more tech porn. It has nothing to do with car safety. So, like,
I don't know what the real numbers are, but that's probably bad that it's out there. Yeah.
The problem that I have is it's not just that Teslas are bad cars. It's that it's part of this broader thing where they're being sold as like the future of cars when they're fucking when they're not. When the evidence we have suggests that if anything, they're worse than if you just got like a Toyota, like just a regular Toyota car.
So yeah, I think I'm train pilled. When you were going over the hyper high speed train, I was pumping my fist in the air. I'm train pilled. I think we would be better off for trains, but if you were to look at it, if you were a man with emerald mine money, as you think Elon Musk does, and you're like, how am I going to meaningly affect climate change? The only company in America to do privatized rail, like there's one rail line that's privatized, and that's Brightline. And so if I was going to say, oh, well, obviously trains are way better for the environment, but this is America, and we hate trains for reasons.
Promoting car dependency doesn't help our climate change issues, though.
Well, but it's the best. It's the best thing we could do.
I don't even think that. And also, he doesn't care about climate change. If he did, there's like a billion other things he could do. He has like such a huge audience. He could like he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He used to talk a little
What
bit
do you
about
think?
climate
Wait,
change, but like he
yeah.
completely stopped when he started grifting to the right for some reason.
Uh, yeah.
No, he
What do you
did.
think he could have done more? No, probably, because I feel like he built up. I feel like he initially. Yeah, I would probably agree that he initially say, "Hey, buy this car if you want to be green friendly," and then after everybody buying these cars, and then they were seen as a luxury item, then he kind of coasted on that and not the environmental impacts of it, right? So I'd agree on that.
Like it was
But
just a
what
marketing
more do you
blurb to him.
think? Yeah, what more? Probably, but more do you think he could have done for climate change?
Well, not actively hampering the development of California high-speed rail. Probably not proposing there be like a private, ultra-wealthy, like rocket-based system of mass like world transportation. Not like destroying reliability of public transportation broadly by actively shit-talking trains and buses and cars, pulling people away from like actual subway systems with the Hyperloop bullshit. Like it's just he literally nothing that he does is pro-green at all. Like zero things. He only went with the electric car thing because it's futuristic. That's it. The moment it became more convenient to not sell Teslas as a
Oh,
anti-climate change thing and just
oh,
start talking about them as like
well,
future-proof vehicles.
can I get you? Maybe this is. I think I probably would agree with a lot of you because I am train pilled on the green aspects of Tesla. But I think the one thing he's done that's benefited green energy, might benefit in green energy, is we have like massively produced lithium ion batteries because of the demand for Teslas. Right. So we've gotten lithium ion batteries really cheap.
But I
And that's
don't want
partly to
them in
do that.
cars. I don't want lithium-ion batteries in cars.
Well, so do you think in a like here, I guess I would you want a car? I guess is I we can probably end this, but I just want to leave? Would you want like a combustion engine car or an electric car, just in general?
I think if you're going to buy a new car, it's good to buy an electric or a hybrid. Like it's
Yeah.
preferable. But that like the amount of combustion that goes into the production of an electric car is massive anyway. So it's more like if you could choose between the two, there's a lesser evil. But like he promotes car dependent infrastructure everywhere he goes because that's the product he sells. He's selling us the poison. Like he's basically like he's selling us um like eco-friendly water harvested from only the most sustainable sources in disposable plastic bottles. Like he's telling us to drink poison because he says that the packaging is in cardboard and not plastic. It's not good, and he doesn't care about it. He's not even pretending to care about climate change stuff anymore. I mean, look, he used to be pro-vaccine. He used to talk about the value of vaccines and how they're good. And now he openly promotes like anti-vaccine skepticism and conspiracy theories on social media. He has no values and no opinions, and he's not very bright. He's just an egomaniac who lucked into his current position and is doing or saying whatever he can
Um,
to get accolades from the people stupid enough to continue to praise him for everything he does.
yeah. I'd probably agree with 90% of what you just said. I just don't like. I disagree that he lucked into it. I think he does have some effect on his success, but that's just where we differ. We talked about it. I'm not going to change your mind, and
I just think
I
if he
think
would be like, I don't see him being good at business because like every time he because he lies every time he advertises stuff. He doesn't seem to be like that savvy when it comes to investments because he bought Twitter. I don't know. It really does just
yeah,
seem like he's
the Twitter
Forrest
thing is
Gumping.
the Twitter thing is an ego drain. Yeah, whatever. All right, thank you for so much for the talk.
I've enjoyed the conversation very much. Seriously, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for not clowning on me because I was watching that earlier bit and I was like, oh boy, I'm getting the real Vosh. I'm
Are
just
you
kidding.
prepared to answer for Elon's crimes in abetting Erdogan's dictatorial regime?
Probably not. No.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah, just
Yeah.
making sure.
Well, can I go on the Twitter thing? Because I guess if you just want me to, I really, I think the journalists who did the Twitter files are probably a little bit more held um, culpable than Elon Musk is, because I'm the Elon Musk fan guy now, I guess. But the Twitter files were insane. Like the headlines were like, oh, like America U.S. government were interfering in our elections and silencing freedom of speech. And then those are the headlines. And then when you read the stories, it's like this super nuanced thing where it's like if you read between the lines and the conservatives are, oh, how can you not see the?
At one
How can you
specific
not?
point in time, there was like 2 moments of contact between these two people, and from this we can extrapolate.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Elon
exactly.
did create the Twitter files and then promote them, and then like quote tweet and set them up and
Yeah, he's
approve them.
probably.
And
I kind of take fault more with the journalists of those stories than Elon, but you know he's still cold cape responsible for those things. But yeah, it's in the Twitter, and then you have like Tucker Carlson, you know, the Tucker Carlson messages, and then you know conservatives are like, I don't see that, but yeah, that Twitter files drives me crazy. But all right, thank you so much.
there's just a
I like the
never
conversation.
never a lack of things to talk about with that guy. Thank you
Yeah,
very
that's
much for
why.
coming
Well,
on.
yeah, that's why I've been seeing this for a long time, and I finally got the courage to come and test my ideas in the battlefield of language, I guess.
I can't promise
Um,
I'll get off my jihad anytime soon.
you know, yeah, it's okay.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you again.
You too. Thank you, Vash.
Take care.
Take care.
That was also a pleasant conversation. I didn't know if either of those two would turn into like loud debates, but they're nice. You always tone match, right? And I like that convo. That was nice. I like going over this stuff. I don't understand the Musk thing at all. I don't get the drive, but you know that it's fine. We talked to my satisfaction, right? Boo, we want bloodshed like Roman peasants at the Colosseum. Hey, it's hard to find people like that who want to debate. It was nice, but I miss blood sports. We've talked about this before. It's really difficult to get that like nice peak, right? Because I feel like okay, I'm gonna draw this, okay? Super quick, I'm gonna draw this. All right, are you ready? And I did enjoy that convo, by the way. I'm not at all unsatisfied. Look, okay, it's like this. MS Paint? No, we have Clip Studio Paint actually. Okay, so here's the thing, all right? So okay, the y-axis here is how spicy the debate is, like how aggressive, how argumentative. No, actually, that's the x-axis. The x-axis is how argumentative it is. Okay, how spicy it is. The y-axis is how enjoyable the debate is. Okay. So enjoyment, spicy, okay? And here's the thing, all right? I get a red line? Okay, here. It goes like this, all right? So at first, you have like low engagement debates, conversations basically, not that spicy, you know? We go up, okay? And right here, this right here is like the heated conversation zone. Okay? You understand? Those are good. And you keep going up, all right? And now it's like, all right, now we have reached like peak enjoyment, okay? And peak enjoyment right here is where debates are spicy enough that we're arguing, but not so spicy that problems start to happen. All right? So it maintains at about this level for a short time, and then doom. No more. And the rest of it is nothing. This right here is peak content. The problem right here is that this right here is the line where we're not having a real conversation anymore. This right here is the jibber jabber zone. Thank you, Dirk Gently. This right here is the point where either they are acting in such obvious bad faith that there's not even a relationship between what they say and what they know is the truth. We're no longer communicating with each other. It's just shouting over each other. That is where things stop being fun for me. Now, there are lots of people I could bring on in this category, okay? There are lots of, like, lunatic groypers or, like, 14-year-olds or weirdos who would love to come on and jibber-jabber on my stream to my audience for 2 hours, a situation wherein nothing I say will have any effect in the conversation because they're not even present, they're just talking into a microphone. But I don't like doing that because it's not very fun. So I look for stuff right up here. Okay? This is what I look for. Okay? And I get emails where people are like, hey, I have disagreements with you on this, that, the other. And I never know where exactly it's going to be unless they're like opening by being insulting to me. And by the way, the person I had a conversation with at the very beginning today kind of was a little mean to me over email. Wasn't mean to me over the talk, though, so fine, you know? But yeah, I don't even like blood sports. I don't like the term blood sports. I like arguments. A lot of people who say they like blood sports, and we do use the term euphemistically, you guys don't actually know what blood sports was back in like 2018. Blood sports, okay, the actual specific term for that like scene of debate was literally just like two neo-Nazis getting on call and like quickly trying to find the other person's docs while screaming racial slurs at each other. There was no value in any sense, intellectually or even from an entertainment perspective. Now people say like, "Oh, I miss blood sports." You don't. Because I don't do blood sports. What you actually miss are like high energy argumentative debates. And I like those too, you know? Those can be pretty good. I'm just saying, you know, I want to keep the terms clear. That's true. He does curate well, Dino Smash. I agree. The Crucible does do a good job of that. Yeah, we'll see. Much as I hate having moderators, you know, maybe we can dip into that a little more.